Good afternoon, Jagnew Media. Following Tigray War updates online, May 2021. The Ethio-Eritrean hunger plan for Tigray and the failure of UN Resolution 2417. Tigray is a test for the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2417. Today, 5.2 million people of Tigray's population are in need of immediate humanitarian assistance. Famine is occurring already. Except that, because the Ethiopian government prefers to keep Tigray in darkness, few outsiders will be there to witness it. We may later get to count the graves of the children who perished. In the face of the ruthless determination of the leaders of Ethiopia and Eritrea to starve the civilian population of Tigray, the United Nations, the African Union, and donor governments have done nothing of significance. For the hungry in Tigray, Resolution 2417 is an empty promise. UNICEF's technical support shows that global acute malnutrition rates among children under 5 years of age of 23.8 to 34.3%. This takes us into the range where we must speak about Phase 5 of the Integrated Food Security Phase classification famine. The situation is deteriorating week by week as food stocks run out. Longer-term prospects are even more dire. The planting season has arrived, and most farmers are unable to plow their fields and plant and thin this year's crops. Recent reports speak of Eritrean soldiers arriving in villages where farmers have been able to prepare their land, destroying the settings and telling villagers, "You will not plant, you will not harvest, and if you try, you will be punished." It's hard to think for a more systematic use of starvation as a weapon of war since the Nazi hunger plan of 80 years ago. Not only has the Ethio-Eritrean coalition massively reduced the food available to Tigrayans, but they have systematically reduced the region to the state of destitution. As detailed in the World Peace Foundation report, Starving Tigray, which draws upon scores of open sources, reports along with eyewitness testimonies, the coalition of Ethiopian National Defense Forces, Eritrean Defense Forces, and Amhara militias have destroyed, removed, or rendered useless objects indispensable to the survival of the civilian population. They have burned food stores, looted foods, and killed domestic animals from cows to baby chicken. They have slaughtered plough oxen, smashed ploughs, cut down fruit trees. They have ripped up the water pipes and pumps in towns and villages and ripped out domestic plumbing. They have looted and vandalized the great majority of the region's clinics and hospitals. They have closed banks and frozen the 450,000 accounts in the region's microfinance institution, essentially confiscating the savings of the peasantry. They have pillaged and burned factories, ransacked hotels, looted shops and stores, and even broken up the little boxes used by shoeshine boys to steal the brushes and polish. By expropriating the ethnically cleansing the fertile lowlands where sesame is grown for export, they have eliminated Tigray's single largest source of seasonal migrant work, a crucial source of income. The perpetrators of these starvation crimes are the Ethiopian Federal Forces, the Eritrean Army, and Amhara forces. The elected Ethiopian Prime Minister called the coalition offensive a law enforcement operation. His claims that not a single civilian have been killed and that Eritrean forces were either not involved or were withdrawing have been shown to be lies. In the early weeks, Ethiopia and Eritrea were given a free pass by the Trump administration, and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres repeated Abiy Ahmed's false claim about Eritrean forces. The shutdown of internet and phone communication has been effective in minimizing reporting of atrocities, including starvation, thereby allowing official denials to pass without refutation. International humanitarian workers are compelled to remain silent for fear of being expelled. The situation for national staff is worse. Resolution 2417 on conflict and hunger was designed to ensure that grave circumstances such as this would not be permitted to develop. Further requests the Secretary General to report swiftly to the Council when the risk of conflict-induced famine and widespread food insecurity in armed conflict contexts occurs, and expresses its intention to give its full attention to such information provided by the Secretary General when those situations are brought to its attention. On current performance, Tigray is joining the catalog of genocides and crimes against humanity in which the world failed to act on warnings and responded with handwriting only after the event. 6 months after, Ethiopia and Eritrea launched their campaign of starvation and mass atrocity. The UNSC has been a bystander. The UN Secretary General has abdicated his responsibilities. The African Union has failed. Thank you for listening. Share, subscribe, and be kind to everyone.